As events unfold in Iraq, WLS and ABC News are standing by to bring you the inside story. News Talk 890 WLS.
5:39 with Roe Garry on WLS. Will this CENTCOM conference ever take place? It's being set up now for an hour.
I believe that we're going to have just a statement being read. Now, they rushed in here, and the network is going nuts. We have these boxes in the studio, these speakers, and they're hooked right into the network in New York. And there's always some doofus on the other end of the line who all day long tells us, through this speaker, they just press a button and they talk to all the stations along the line. They go, stations, we're going to have tape coming down the line. They tell you what satellite channel and all of that. And then these people have been, for an hour, station standby, very important announcement, CENTCOM, emergency briefing, blah, 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 blah. And then, like 10 minutes ago, we think that maybe there won't be a briefing, maybe just a statement being read. We might have gotten a little excited. And then when this box goes off, everybody in the station, everybody puts on their helmets. We watch the news and you hear those alarms going off in Kuwait City, everybody puts on a gas mask. Well, here, I think that the people here feel like they're out of the loop, that they don't get to run around and panic when something is happening. So they ran and panicked.
Our boss ran into the engineer room, which is right outside our window here, and he's flailing his arms and he's got his silver helmet on, and it's a lot of amped upness here.
Now, if it was really big, the president or Rumsfeld would be involved from Washington.
Isn't that a clue?
And the Pentagon also has people. They made an announcement in the last hour that there's very heavy fighting going underway south of Karbala. That's a town about 50 miles outside Baghdad. So speculation is we're getting ready for the full Baghdad, possibly assault. Out of Kuwait, where this command center is, they wouldn't be announcing political things, meaning peace talk. I think that would come from Rumsfeld and the president. So it'd be interesting to see what it is.
Right. Now, this would have to be some sort of operational thing going on.
What's going on and why. Now, what makes it interesting is what Rose said. It's the middle of the night. Why they'd choose to have it announced now and not wait for their big briefing.
All right, a guy just ran across we have a camera up inside Central Command, so we're looking at it, and all the seats where the journalists sit are all empty, except for one guy who looks like he's hitting on a girl right now.
That guy looks like the guy from Hello Deli on Letterman. What's that guy's name? Rupert.
Rupert G. Who's got his
Maybe Letterman sent him over there.
Who's got his arm around someone like, hey, babe.
And Letterman's got an earpiece rigged into that guy's ear and telling him what to say.
He does have
Rupert, ask him this.
The flirtatious nod. When your wife catches you at a party doing a little more interest in the neighbor's wife than just saying, yeah, okay, I hate my job too. You're leaning in.
Not knowing he's on camera around the world.
Right.
Why don't we talk to Mark? Mark, you're on WLS. Hi.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I hope you're standing by for the news conference, Mark.
Yeah, I sure am. I'm on pins and needles.
All right.
Hey, first I wanted to say I'm in the military, and a couple schools I went to, one of them was really high-tech and very hard to do, and there were a bunch of Middle Eastern people. It was for the military. A bunch of Middle Eastern people wanted to learn what we were doing, and out of 37 of them, only 5, Americans also, there were more Middle Eastern people than us, only 5 made it through, and there were only 5 Americans that made it through.
Okay, I'm not sure I follow that. You're talking about the training schools that you guys go to as part of your...
Middle East people didn't even make it.
And what was the school?
The school was a real high-tech communications school, but it was a dangerous type of communications. It was forward. It was...
And at these schools, when my dad did this too, they would go off. You'd go off for a week or so at a time to these different places, and you'd get this training. And what is sometimes astounding is that you're taking the training with guys from other militaries around the world.
Right.
who are sitting in there with you, and it is. You go to these classrooms, and there's all these booklets that they send you, and you got to read them and get up to date in terms of what it is. And you take
Right, bro. This was a 6-month school, and it was from A to Z. Very.
What were the other armies though that were being represented there? The other militaries?
Oh, there was Army, there was Marines. There
but the
were,
foreign ones. What countries?
The foreign ones. Oh, there was Saudi Arabia. There was Jordan. There was Germany. So, anyways, I wanted to.
All these people that are screaming about what jerks we are right now.
It says on this.
Oh yeah, they were sitting there acting. They were so tough and everything. In the beginning, we're like, wow, these dudes are probably pretty bad. Well, they started falling like flies. Like
So what you're saying is that you don't think that in a real fight these guys are up to it?
Oh, they're all talk.
Mark, it says next to your name on the screen, who runs the entrance to the Eiffel Tower?
Oh yeah, okay. So I wanted to go there. So
okay.
We go. So
please go there because we're standing by for a Central Command briefing, sir.
Stand by for news.
So I've been to Germany like every year for the last 15 years. So finally, one weekend I said, let's go to Paris. So I want to see this. So we go there, and we only have a weekend, right? So we get there on Saturday afternoon, and we go to the Louvre, and there's like 500 people in line, and I'm like, dudes, we're going to wait here all weekend before we get in. I'm with 3 other guys. So I go to the front of the line.
And that's what 3 guys want to do on a Saturday afternoon. Hey, let's go look at the Mona Lisa over at the Louvre.
Kid. Right. We want to get in and out, right? Hit it and then go drink. So we go to the front, and I show the guy my ID, and I'm like, hey, can we get in? And he's like, they're like, yeah, no problem. We show him our IDs. He's like, okay, cool, yeah, go in. We're only here for the weekend, sir,
What IDs are you showing him? Your driver's license?
Our military,
Art appreciation lover ID.
Right,
we're like, appreciate. We love Fred.
Yeah.
So, but before we went, I've heard for years, the French don't like us, and I'm like, come on, no way, we're nice people. So I go to the Eiffel Tower. There's 500 people in line. I want to see this thing from the top, right? So I go to the front, and the guy goes, no, you Americans think you can do anything. You can't go in. I go, please, sir, can we? It was Sunday. At 6 o'clock, we had an 8-hour drive back to Germany, right? I go, please, sir, I just want to go up on your tower. We're going up and down. That's it, done. No, you can't do it. You Americans think you can do everything. So I said, well, can I talk to your supervisor? So the head of the Eiffel Tower comes down, and he comes out, he goes, you Americans think you run the world? You're not going on my tower. So I'm with a Jewish guy, right? His name's Arnold. Really smart guy. He looks at me and goes, sir, we want to see your tower, please. We drove 8 hours to see your tower. You are not seeing my tower. He goes, you Jew. This guy goes, during World War II. Arnold says, during World War II, you guys ran. You guys, oh man, did they go
international incident.
Oh
Meanwhile,
my God,
you got to call the embassy. The MPs are showing up. I've seen this in the movies. You know what? Let me tell you something about that whole French thing. And I mentioned this before. France is a significantly anti-Semitic country. And them throwing in with in the home of anti-Semitism and throwing there and going, we're sticking with these guys, does not surprise me, because that's what it all comes down to.
I was totally virgin walking in. I just was unbiased, and when I saw this, I'm like, you people are nuts.
Yeah. You know what? You're next.
Get your asses kicked.
You're next.
So you pushed past this guy. You ran up the stairs of the Eiffel Tower. Right? Is that the end of the story?
We took over the tower for a month.
They occupied.
No, we didn't get by. He wouldn't let us in, man. We fought. We were arguing with him, and trying to be nice. I'm like, sir, look, hey, come on, man. I just want to see your stupid tower.
So you came back 10 minutes later with a beret and a cigarette in a holder. Excuse me, can I see your tower?
Thank you, Mark.
I am French. Take care, guys.
My name is Hercule Poirot.
Still nothing happening.
It's going to be on the Sirius show at 6 o'clock's watch at this point.
One guy hitting on a girl, and that's it. Nobody coming forward here. This is it's an engineer. They have this one guy.
Wow, he looks very bizarre. He looks like he's from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
He looks like the guy from Night Court, the bald guy from Night Court, who keeps coming out and moving the microphones around. I'll do it, don't worry. And they're not wearing uniforms and stuff. I don't know. How much do we pay?
How important can this be?
The Central Command set that they purchased from Hollywood. First of all, why does it have to be in Doha, Qatar? Can't it just be on a backlot somewhere in California?
Well, you got to be near the action.
Why?
It's better. It just feels
Why-
better.
so
it just
what?
looks better.
They built this set with all these. They've got these TV screens all around, and it's like this three-dimensional graphics. It's very hip and happening television studio sort of thing. And I'm like, why do we spend all the money on this? I like it better when they're in a tent and they're pointing to a flip chart with a pool cue.
You enter from the flap in the tent, and you salute,
Right.
and then you do your little thing.
That's what I like.
And you got the tin pot of coffee going.
Exactly. All right, men. And then they start screaming at you like that. Here's what's happening at 0800 Charlie, and then they're hitting the map with their writing crop or whatever it is. Very patent.
Jim, you're on WLS. Hello.
Hey guys, I just wanted to make a prediction about what they're about to announce. I suspect they found chemical weapons.
That's your guess?
That's my guess.
Yeah, a few people around here guessed that too. I don't have chemical weapons in the pool right now.
It seems like the only thing that would be important enough to interrupt, but not important enough for, Rumsfeld or the presidency.
I'd say
Although-
that's important enough for the president
because
to come up and...
that solidifies everything that we're in there for.
Unless they make the announcement here. Now, they are assuring us, they've assured ABC News and that woman on the other end of the squawk box, that whatever they're about to announce is of a significant nature.
But they have used a lot of hyperbole for the last 2 weeks in this war. We've been led to believe a lot of announcements are going to be big, but don't pan out.
And I am surprised it hasn't leaked yet, because if it's that big, generally one of the pet reporters gets it and is told 5 minutes in advance so that they can run out there and tell their desk to prepare for it.
So it just seems like it's one of those things that the president and Rumsfeld have been saying all along. They're out there so that they don't want to make it seem like it's a really big deal.
Like, nah, we told you so. This is like, this is announcing.
This is expected. Here's the first, this could be one of many fines, blah, blah, blah. So that's my...
Well, it's taken an hour since the announcement, and we're still waiting, so you would think they'd get right on with this.
It looks like, when you get to the airport and you look at your ticket and there's a gate like G7, you go to the gate and your flight's leaving in half an hour, but there's nobody sitting at the gate, and you realize that you misread it and it was actually H7 or whatever, and you're sitting there and you're looking at it and you're going, why isn't there anybody sitting here? I feel like we're sitting in the wrong press conference right now.
ABC is now saying that sources are telling them we have just launched or engaged in the biggest ground battle of the war, and it's just outside Baghdad, so this could be what that's about. The biggest battle of the war has begun in the middle of the night over there.
But we kind of knew that, though, didn't we?
Well, I
Thank
said
you,
it because I'd seen that from Associated Press moved that story, but that was just 10 minutes ago when I said the big battle 50 miles outside. That could be what the statement is, and this could be the beginning of the end for Baghdad as we know it.
Do we know who's actually involved in this battle? And
No.
where is Geraldo Rivera at this moment?
They'll show us.
Are we assuming that he is safe?
There was also dark humor in the newsroom, brought up that maybe the announcement will be about Meigs Field and liberating Meigs Field, but I don't think so.
No, because these guys are afraid of Mayor Daley, as we've found out.
Apparently, everybody's afraid of Mayor Daley, and maybe we should wise up, too, and start getting afraid of him.
Mr. Rumsfeld, what do you think about Meigs Field being chopped up? I don't want to go there because, you know what? I'm afraid of Mayor Daley.
He's from here, too. He's the kind of guy that'd be flying into Meigs Field.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he'll be upset. All right, Mike, you're on WLS. Hi, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
All right.
I wanted to pass experience I had with 2 Saudi officers when I was in airborne school. They were apparently princes or something there, and they would send their servants in the morning to do physical training.
Did you do their push-ups for him?
Seriously, yes. 2 guys would come, and then they're called black hats, the instructors would come around, and they're figuring out who the heck are these guys, and they come back, and they're the servants. We do not do physical labor.
Dude, you're going to do whatever we tell you to do here if you're taking our training.
Yeah, basically when they started pushing them out the door, that was kind of the deal. But they came up, they were literally standing next to me, and they were the 2 Saudi valets.
Yeah, this has been going on forever, though. This one, my dad told me a story about being in a school down in Texas at an Air Force base there, and they were training Saudi guys how to fly the T-38, which is the training jet that the Air Force uses. And they were just, and these guys would come in, and they were all, they were treated very, very differently than the other. You know, the German Air Force is there getting the training. They also were doing Vietnamese, the South Vietnamese, and all of that in the 1970s. Everybody was coming in to do the training, but there was something, they treated the Middle East guys, the Saudi guys, differently. And I guess it's because we were just like, I don't know, maybe it's like Mayor Daley. Maybe we're just afraid of them because they got all the oil and the prince is going to cut us off and this is going to happen. And yeah, I'm tired of. I'm with Ed Begley Jr. I want a car I can plug in now, because I'm sick. I don't want to take any of these people's crap anymore. I don't want to listen to their arguments. I don't want to listen to them calling me an infidel or any of their crazy insanity. Screw you.
We're running batteries in our cars.
Right. I want a hydrogen car. I want a car that runs on water or whatever that plan is, because we got plenty of that around here.
For now.
And you got plenty of no water over there. Did you see how they're having to... They're piping the water in? They built that pipeline to Qasr already. How the hell did they do that so fast?
Triple overtime.
That's
you offer guys triple overtime, they'll work.
Thank you, Mike. But we got to sit around and listen. And these people, it's like they're speaking to us from the year 762.
That's where they're living.
And that's, by the way, their language, too. It's all backwards like it was in 762. We
have entered a twilight zone, haven't we?
Right. So all of a sudden now, I'm with all those numbnuts that want to have I'm going to become head numbnut in charge of hydrogen cars. Actually, the numbnuts are not. That's actually the motor companies are behind hydrogen cars.
What numbnut are you referring to?
I'm talking about that. What were the numbnuts that wanted the electric cars? Whoever those people are. I'm just leading the charge for not gasoline cars.
All right, get your Wankel engine out and get going.
Or I know that some of these cars are going to be these hybrids, and I'm for that too, on their way to hydrogen. But I think hydrogen is the answer. I want to fill up my tank with water.
I think go cross country.
Yes, and I think that may be the end. And if it goes a little slower, I may be willing to put up with that now.
Way to take a stand, Roe.
Thank you. I was not originally going to put up with slower cars, but I am now, so I don't have to ever listen to a guy with a towel on his head scream about how I'm an infidel. Okay?
Well,
he can wear his towel, he can grow his beard, do whatever the hell he wants over there, but just leave me alone. I'm not. I don't want to have to listen. But right now, I got to listen unless I want to pay $16 a gallon.
78 and sunny tomorrow. Christina.
Eastbound 8094, or eastbound east-west tollway, that is. There's a crash near 53. Inbound Eden's 55 minutes, Kennedy 35 either way, Eisenhower 45 in both directions. Stevenson 50 to the north-south tollway, Dan Ryan 28 minutes either way you're driving. That crash on eastbound 8094 Broadway, that's clear. This report brought to you by Avis. Visit their convenient Carroll Stream location inside the Holiday Inn Hotel and Suites at Gary Avenue and North Avenue. Stop by and save big on great weekend and weekly rates. I'm Christina Filiaggi with WLS Time Saver Traffic.
Onyema from Nigeria. I think you guys are there for a true cause, and you know that everybody back here is in support of you. Do the best you can, and then let the world see that you're doing the right thing, and we're all praying for you. Actually, we do miss all of you, but do that quickly and come back home as soon as possible. Thank you.
A show of support for America's military on News Talk 890 WLS.